Hello, everybody. Welcome back to chemistry. I hope you have something good to look forward to this weekend. Obviously, I am not here today, but it is Friday in AP Chem or in Chemistry B, and so as a result of that, today will be an ACT day, as you'll see in just a little bit. First thing I want to talk about is you didn't have any assignments due for today, but you did have an assignment that was assigned yesterday that you should be working on. Again, that is your evidence and customer discovery. So again, each member of your group should be doing 3 to 4 interviews, depending and how you do those is depending upon how you set them up as a team. But again, come back with Tuesday with data from those 3 to 4 interviews per group member. All right. At some point here during the hour, it would be wild or useful for you to go ahead and do a quick standing meeting with your amazing mixture group to discuss your customer discovery progress and plan. Have people started doing interviews? Are we certain about what our plan is, so we know that when we come back on Tuesday, we'll have the information we need? With that, the sub should have already told you that when the bell has rung, class has begun. At this point in time, personal electronics, including headphones, cell phones, etc., should be off and away, which means I can't see them and neither can you. Exception for this, of course, is headphones to be able to listen to this video. So today we are going to do another session of ACT Science Prep. This will be a little different than previous ones we've done because this is mostly being done on your own, although you can work with your seat partner if you don't know the answer to something. But if you could go ahead and go to week 10, lesson 5, and load up ACT session 6 assignment into Notability. There are a few paper copies up in front for those of you who have maybe forgotten an iPad today, or for those of you who use paper, ask me for paper just about every day. So that's something that you can grab if you need it from the sub. All right, so today we are going to use strategies to correct practice test mistakes and continue to work on improving our accuracy on the ACT Science. So by yourself right now on the first page of the assignment, please make sure that you go ahead and answer these questions. Once you have answered those, go ahead and come back to this video. All right, so once again, here are things. How many questions are on the ACT Science test? There are 40. You get 35 minutes to do that. The types of passages that work best if you skip straight and go straight to the questions, those would be data representation and research summary. And the ones that we want to make sure we read every single time are conflicting viewpoints. Okay, again, we've identified the conflicting viewpoints because it's got headings about people, student 1, student 2, student 3, etc. The other one's data representation we recognize because it's got lots of graphs and tables. Research summary has headings that have to do with experiments. So experiment 1, experiment 2, study 1, study 2. All right, so we've gone through all of the different types of passages. So the next thing that they suggest in terms of how to get better at the ACT Science, or really any part of the ACT, is be ruthless in understanding your mistakes. So on every practice test or question set that you take or work, you should mark every question that you're even 20% unsure about, if you're a little bit unsure about that. And then when you grade your test or quiz, review those questions that you marked and every incorrect question. That way, even if you guessed the question correctly, you'll be able to review what's going on with it. You're going to try to resolve the question and get the correct answer. So in other words, after you figured out that you've made a mistake on something, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go back and see if you can figure out why the right answer is the right answer. Okay. If you're being super diligent, you might, in a notebook, write down the gist of a question, why you missed it, and what you'll do to avoid that mistake in the future. You could have separate sections by subject or subtopic. Okay, so again, this is really getting into it in terms of trying to boost your ACT Science scores at the very end here. Common areas that happen when people are missing ACT Science questions or getting them wrong. One thing that might happen is you're just simply misreading the visuals. You're not reading the graphs or the tables as correctly. Not understanding a trend. If something is going up or going down, what does that actually mean? Not understanding the setup of an experiment. Misreading the passage. That's just simply I didn't read it correctly. Not knowing a science fact. Okay, again, that's for those few questions that require you to know a little bit about science. You made a calculation error. You just did math wrong. You made some other kind of careless error. You didn't understand the viewpoint, or you didn't understand how the viewpoints were related. These are all reasons that you can give yourself, or that you can use when you're analyzing questions to go, oh, why did I get this one wrong? I would misread the visuals. Why did I get this one wrong? I made a calculation error. Why did I get this one wrong? I didn't understand how the viewpoints were related to each other. Okay, that will help you out with those. All right. One of the things that was on the last list was careless errors. Like I just wasn't careful enough. Okay, ways that you can help eliminate or reduce those is if you can get good enough where you can get fast enough at doing ACT science that you're able to go back and double check some answers along the way. That will help you go along with that. Another one, the other ones are just logistical ones, double checking that you're actually answering the right question and that you're bubbling in the right answer. Okay. In Schoology, I have put two links to my favorite resource on the web about ACT, prepscholar.com, so blog.prepscholar. And on there, they have the general resource for that, but they also have this list of specific science topics that come up a lot on the ACT science that you could study just basics about so that they're more familiar to you when you come across them on the ACT science test. All right. This is, again, extra. It's above and beyond. But again, if you want to do those last few points to get your score really, really peaking, these are places that you can look. All right, so your assignment for today is a couple things. So first thing you're going to do is the sub should be passing out Form B04, which is a full science ACT test. You're going to go through it very quickly and see if you can, with each passage, figure out what is your beginning strategy. Is it a data representation and a research summary? So your strategy is go straight to questions. Or is it the conflicting viewpoint passage? And in that case, you'll do reading. So take a minute or two and go through those different passages very quickly and see if you can find the one that's conflicting viewpoints, which would mean all the rest of them are data representation or research summary. Right, if you did this correctly, you would see that passage 5, or V, right? Passage 5 is the one that is conflicting viewpoints, so that's the one you're going to want to read. The rest of them are data representation or research summary, and so those are the ones that you're going to want to do the questions for first. All right, now that you've done that, I want you to go ahead and take the test. I would set yourself a timer on a phone or something else along those lines for 35 minutes, or on your iPad, actually probably even better. And what you're going to do is you're going to do as much of the test as possible in the remaining time. Finish, and then when the class ends today, figure out how much time you have left for the test, and then finish it on your own. Okay. Then grade it. The answers are at the very end. And I want you to analyze at least 5 of your errors, unless you have less than 5 errors. If you didn't make 5 mistakes in the test, awesome for you. But if you did 5 or more, I want you to analyze at least 5 of your errors. Which ones did you get wrong? And what was your reason for getting it wrong? All right, so assignments for the weekend. 1, evidence and customer discovery, getting those interviews done. That is your priority. Secondarily, finishing this ACT Section 6 assignment. Okay. Rest of the time of yours today is to work on that test. Make sure you're working diligently. We'll talk to you later. See you Tuesday.